Welcome to episode 6, part 2 of my series on the 3 levels of mind. Today I will continue my journey into the understanding of love and what it means for the human species. The one thing I want to emphasise and understand where I come from when I do these videos is that I come from a place down here in the lower brainstem. I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I'll mention it here again because this part of our brain evolved millions of years ago, and love was a part of that evolution. It's a part of our successful evolution, and we need to understand that our power and a lot of our knowledge comes from love. I say in the book that I write, in the Dysfunctional Brain, One Cause, One Cure, it's all based around love. If we don't have love, that's the cause of our mental dysfunction. And for the cure, we need to deal with the traumas that caused the dysfunction in the first place or caused our primal pain. Now, the thing you need to remember about love is that it's an experience. So we only had this part of our brain millions of years ago, and we developed love. So love was passed down through experience, having experience of love, as in difference to the intellectual brain. When that developed, we can talk about love. A lot of people write books about love, but if they haven't had the experience of love, you need the experience of love to raise children and to love other people. You won't learn it out of a book because it gets passed down through experience. I can't emphasise that enough. If we don't get the experience of love, we can't pass it on. For instance, my father was a bit of a violent alcoholic, and so he couldn't pass the love down to me that he didn't get in his early childhood. So then when I wanted to be a better father than what my father was, well then I couldn't do that because I was damaged, I had primal pain, so I couldn't pass the love on to my children as much as I would have liked. And so that's what we've got to remember, that love is an experience. It's not something that you're going to read in books. So so I say that this is only 10% of our knowledge. The other 90% of our knowledge comes from our feelings and our sensations. So we need to get back to that. We need to be able to read this, and we need to understand it to get the human race back on a happy and healthy way of being in this world. Now, I came to realise that I had two parts to my brain when I was doing off primal therapy. I had the intellectual knowledge and I was responding to what the therapist was doing, but I got to realise that there was another part of my brain that was doing whatever it wanted. I had no control over it. So I learned to use that in my therapy, and that's why one reason I believe I was able to go from a level of 50 Gal score right up to 85, because I learnt to listen to the lower part of my brain, and that's something that the human species needs to do collectively. We all need to understand what our lower brain's trying to tell us, because that's 90% of who we really are, not this 10% we've gone too far into the intellectual mind. Anyhow, I'll keep reminding you of that, of the nature of love throughout these videos, because it's important to remember. The other thing that I want to talk about is that the local or the current knowledge that we have around mental illness describes love in various ways, but we don't really understand them. So I'm going to go through them today. I think I've got them back behind here. This is love, and we can have all those things and many more as a description of love. First of all, we have warmth and affection. That's a fairly popular one. That's been researched many times. Warmth and affection is the best way to bring our children up and to be with our loved ones. But that comes out of the power of love that we have deep in our brain. It's just warmth and affection isn't love itself. It's a symptom of love. And the same with resilience. Right at this stage in 2023, there's so much research and so much effort going into building resilience in our children, and it's like it's not really the way to go. What we should be saying is that we need to love our children more, understand what love is and love our children more, and out of that we have the resilience to deal with life. Trying to teach a child resilience when they're 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever, or even teaching adults resilience, it's a bit hopeless, because you've got the power of primal pain down at this level of the brain. So you're fighting against that power, the power of the lower brain. Other people have described that we need connection. Well, yes, if you have love, you can connect to people at the level of love, not at the level of the intellect, but at the level of love. That's what connection means. So connection is just a part of love. And then somebody wrote a book once about positivity resonance, and what she was describing was just another symptom of love. If you have love, you'll resonate positivity, or you'll basically resonate love, but it can come through as positivity, but love itself is a type of resonance, and that comes through. And there are many more examples in the literature of where people are trying to describe things that are actually just symptoms of love. So my argument is that we need to get back to understanding what the power of love is, and then understanding what all the symptoms of love are. And that's what the symptoms of love are. If you have love, you will have all of those things. You don't need to. Well, I think I missed out happiness on that one. So happiness is also, if you feel the resonance of love, you're going to be happy. That's our natural state. Happiness and joy. Whereas people are trying to get us, or counsellors are trying to get us to focus more on happiness. But happiness is a natural outpouring of when you have love. So that's part of the nature of love. So now what I want to talk about a little bit are the attributes of a loving person. So if you have love, you have certain attributes. And the most important thing to understand about the attributes of a loving person is that they revolve around our ability to survive and be with other people, to survive in groups, because that's our evolutionary survival mechanism, is to the power of love, and we need to be in groups to survive. So out of that came love, and then out of that came the ability, or the things that we need to survive. And one of the main ones of those are the morals and ethics that we need to treat human life especially, but all animal life, and to treat the earth with more tenderness and more care than what we do now. Our morals and ethics we don't need to get from the Bible, as I mentioned in my last episode 5. We just need love. The power of love will give us our morals and ethics. So it's important that we have love. The other attribute of a loving person is that they're strong-minded. Not strong in the sense that they override their emotions and say, bugger the emotions, and learn how to control them. You're strong in your self-belief. I guess I lived most of my life with low self-esteem, because I wasn't loved and I wasn't resonating love. So when you have love, you resonate that strength, and people can respond to that. Even children will respond to that. And then there's empathy. Love, one of the other symptoms of love is empathy. We have feelings for animals, we have feelings for other human beings. So that's the nature, that's included in the nature of love, is empathy. We all know, I guess, we all know people that don't have much empathy. Well, you can feel sorry for them, because they probably got primal pain that they have to deal with. And that comes through in not caring about others, because you need that feeling, you need the You need the resonance that love gives you to to have empathy for other things. Now we evolve these attributes that others enjoyed being around because we needed to be in groups, so we needed to evolve the attributes of so that other people enjoyed being with us, and we all know those happy people and people that we enjoy being around and people that we don't enjoy being around. But you've got to feel sorry for those people because they're carrying primal pain. And we need to get the human race as a collective we all need to get our global area of love score above 80 to be a happy and healthy, and as part of our survival we need that. We need that love as so that we can survive and go on in the world without all these wars and whatever else, the silly things we're doing, and especially mental illness. Like we have wars and those sorts of things, but it's the pain and the problems that come through having a brain that carries primal pain, and it messes up our cognitive brain as well. So it's important that we understand love and know what it is, and then make sure that everybody has the access to adults around them that give them the love, and then they will express that as, or resonate with love as part of their being, and people will want to be around them.